oh man, how y'all love capping for this character. What's good, YouTube? It's Quintessential Q, your quintessential ain't shit YouTuber here. And today, I'ma have to tell y'all to stop capping. I don't know if Zhongli got y'all in type of some genjutsu that makes y'all believe he's a good character, but he's not. Sorry to break it to you. Sorry to break it to you. The boy Zhongli is not a good character. He is ass. He is garbage. Garbaggio. Basura. He is ass. And why do I say that? What makes him garbage? What makes him bad, Q? If you're so hell-bent on saying that Zhongli's bad, but you're not looking at his good sides. You're not looking at that shield. That shield be thick. Who cares? The game don't care. This game doesn't care about tank. Domains and abyss floors are not tank checks. They're DPS checks. So, who cares if you can tank? Then, let's be real, you can't even tank that well that a lot of y'all be capping. He's the #1 tank in the game, but who cares about the #1 tank in the game when the game don't even care about him being the #1 tank in the game? He's the #1 tank. Whoop-de-doo. He gets a participation trophy for being good at something. That doesn't matter. Round of applause for Zhongli. Best tank in the game. No one cares. No one cares about his participation trophy of being best tank in the game. Because, again, all the content that is in the game are DPS checks, not tank checks. So, that doesn't matter. As much as y'all like to highlight that point, that does not matter. And then on top of that, he is not so good of a tank that he requires a slot on your spot. So many characters have iframes in this game through their ults. There's iframes on your dodges. Playing more optimally negates needing tank. You have healers in this game. If you get hit, guess what? Swap to your healers, heal up, get yourself back in the fight. Who cares? And you can say, oh, well, I can throw the shield up and if I get hit, I can just keep spamming abilities. Yeah, you get hit once in high-end content, you can keep spamming abilities. After that one hit, your shield's gone. So, because a lot of people like Jinx and Tuna is ran numbers, and according to the data, at 20k health, you have about 5,500 shield health. So 5.5k shield. At 20k, that's a pretty well invested Zhongli. 20k. You have about 5.5k health on your shield. So that means you get slapped once in the high abyss floors, shield gone. That may be a couple hits if it's an environmental hit. I'll give you that. But most enemies hit you once, gone. So, again, to restate the point, you're the #1 tank in the game that doesn't care about tank, right? So, at a time you have 5.5k health, most of the healers in the game can heal over 5k. So, there's also that. And why do I mention that most of the healers can heal over 5k, right? Because as of right now, you're either running Zhongli in your burst support slot or your healer slot. And if you're running him in your healer slot, then he needs to provide so much tank that you do not have to worry about healing at all, and he doesn't. But then run him in your burst support slot, right? You have 2 burst support slots, right? Usually teams are carry, burst support, healer, or carry, sub carry, burst support, healer, right? So just run him in your burst support slot. But he's lackluster there too, because his E skill is garbage. Right. This skill, garbage. Does no damage. Inconsistent at generating energy. Inconsistent to the point where Noel comps don't even run him, and he's a Geo character. Because his E skill, the pillar, does not provide enough consistent energy regen to warrant a spot on a Noel comp team. So if he can't even get in a spot on a Noel comp team who wants to run mainly Geo characters, he provides less value to a team where they don't even want Geo characters, because all the elemental reactions with Geo just makes a useless shield. So, does no damage. And that's including with multiple Geo structures around it. Inconsistent in energy regen, and the area of the pulse is so small that you're so restricted on like how you space when fighting. So there's also that going for it, or going against it rather. Now the hold E, right? The laughable damage for the hold E explosion, mind you, which I feel like that should be buffed. He needs to do more. If he casts the hold E needs to do more damage. And I feel like it needs to even do more damage if he does the hold E on a petrified target. So buff up the hold E damage just normally, right? Let's see. I have this at level 6. Right now, hold E damage is 112%. I'm gonna need a lot more than that. That ain't doing it for me. Chief. I'm gonna need him to do DPS numbers. What does this do? This does 130, 180, but that's a 3-hit skill. You know, we can't really count that. And I don't have anyone else leveled up for comparisons, for the most part, because I invested so much into this bastard. But he needs to do considerable more damage, right? The hold E doing 112 damage at level 6, laughable. I need 200% damage. I need something crazy. 220%. And if it's a petrified target, I need even more than that, like I said. Maybe 200% if it's a normal target, or with like a couple of Geo structures up or whatever. But if he's doing this on a petrified target, I need even more damage than that, because that means you used your ult in order to get that set up. So if I'm using this on a petrified target, I need to be rewarded for using my ult. Now, granted, his ult does do good damage. His ult's probably one of his, or his only redeeming quality, in my opinion. Has CC. CC that arguably is better than Venti's CC, right? Because Venti's CC can't, like Venti's ult can't pull the big enemies. So like the big Fatui guys, or the big Mr. Cyclops guys, for those of you that did the child story. The big Mr. Cyclopses. it don't pull them, right? But Zhongli can petrify them. So he has better CC than Venti. But Venti's ult is more valuable than Zhongli ult because guess what? Venti's does damage. It reacts with other elements in the game for swirl damage. You can throw a fire ability in there for a pyro swirl, or a cryo ability for cryo swirl, or electro ability for electro swirl. It synergizes better with the rest of the team than Zhongli's ult. Zhongli's ult drops, it drops down, it turns people into stone for a couple seconds, and you just wail on them. It's okay. And since Zhongli is not going to be your main damage carry, you have to swap to them. So some of the petrify time you're wasting because you have to swap. And some people's like, well, it can go up to 6 seconds. Yeah. Goes up to 6 seconds at what? Constellation 4? Yeah. Constellation 4. If you maxed out the talent and get Constellation 4, it's nearly 6 seconds. I think it's like 5.8 seconds if we're being exact. Who the fuck is getting 5 Zhonglis to get to Constellation fucking 4? Most of the player base are not getting a Constellation 1 Zhongli, let alone a Constellation 4 Zhongli. So we have to be realistic on what we expect from him. He needs to be good at Con 0 because a lot of characters, not a lot of characters, a lot of players are going to have this character at Con 0 for quite some time. Probably until the next time he is on the banner. So, as it stands, Zhongli needs to be good out the gate, just like Venti is good out the gate, just like Diluc is good out the gate, just like Kaching is good out the gate. So, I just want y'all to know y'all need to stop capping. This tankiness that y'all say that he provides the team through his shield is so lackluster. While he's the best tank in the game, he does not tank enough. He doesn't tank so much that he warrants me either giving up my healer spot or giving up my burst support spot to run Zhongli. That is outside of the ult, that is the only other thing y'all can give him. And I really don't even give him that because, like I said, the tank isn't good enough for me to warrant giving up my burst support or giving up my healer. Because again, at 20k health, he has a 5.5k shield. Most, if not all, the healers in the game can heal above that easily. And as my burst support, his ult does decent damage, but pretty much all the good burst supports, including the 4-star burst supports, can outdamage that easily. Some of them can outdamage that just with their skill with the carry. Like if they do an elemental reaction or they apply a status with their skill and then you switch back to your carry to do damage, they provide more damage to the team than Zhongli would do with his ult. He's a Geo character. So out the gate, he is one of the weaker characters because Geo is the weakest element in the game. He already had that negative going for him when we knew about him. That was already a negative going against him. So yes, he needed to be busted. A lot of people are like, oh, well, if he could tank and he could do damage, he would be busted. Yes. He's the Geo fucking Archon. I expect him to be busted. He is a god. In this game, he is a god. So yes, I expect him to be busted. But all this hype for a lackluster character, for a mediocre character, that a lot of y'all are so fixated on how he looks and how cool his animations are, and the fact that he can provide a shield and tank better than Noel, I guess, that y'all clearly overlook how bad he is. Again, he got y'all in some type of genjutsu. I guess like this is like his eyes are the version of the Sharingan. He got y'all in the genjutsu bad. He got y'all bad. Y'all, a lot of y'all down bad because y'all are capping for this character way too hard. Way too hard. To the point where y'all arguing with me in the comment section, disliking videos just because I say the character's ass, and it's proven that he is a underperforming character and currently the weakest 5-star in the game, being outperformed by multiple 4-star characters in just about every role except quote unquote a tank, which does not provide any beneficial utility in this game because this game does not care about tanking. So that's what I gotta say about that, man. Y'all need to stop tanking. I said stop tanking. Jeez. Stop capping. Stop capping. Stop capping over the tank, all right? Stop capping. Y'all need to accept that Zhongli's bad. I'm not saying don't play him. I'm not saying that. The reason why it's important for me to highlight why he is bad is so that when people are going to pull him, they can make an informed decision on whether they want to pull him or not. Because these are resources that people spent days, weeks grinding up. Or this is money that people go out and work their job and like they get on this game and this game just gives them like a little bit of breathing downtime from having to work all day. So they spend a little bit of money here and there on the game, like, so that they can enjoy the game. And both the time invested for the free-to-play player and the money invested for the pay-to-win player need to be respected, man. Because I don't want people wasting their money on a character that's lackluster, that's mediocre, and they thought this character was going to be good. That sucks. That's money that they're not going to get back. There's no refunds in this game. Right? Same thing with the person who wasted hours upon hours grinding for primo gems so they can get pulls for this character. They're not getting that time back. Once they find out this character is bad and that they don't synergize with any team that they have going. Couldn't talk, stumbling right there. But they don't synergize with any team they have so far. And they're not good enough to warrant their own team. Like, they can't get that time back that they spent grinding up all those pools. So it's important not only for the player base to know, but for MiHoYo to know that this is an underperforming character, that he needs to potentially be looked at for buffs, and that they need to not release 5-star characters in the future, especially if they're going to be Archons, especially the 5-star Archons. They need to stop releasing characters in this state. Do not do it. Because if you release these lackluster characters, we're simply not going to support. That's it. You know? We're not going to sit here and just waste money on characters that are lackluster. Now, for those who want them in your collection because you want to collect all the 5 stars, or for those that want to just play Zhongli because you think he's a cool character, by all means, play the character. I have him on the team. I have him on the team right now.
Where do you want to go
This
next?
team
If you'd
is
like to
the
see
second team
Leroy's
in
tourist
my
spots, I have a
like
few
team
references.
slots. So I have a team with him. I play him. I invested in him. I enjoy him for the team that I have. But that does not mean I don't understand that he's bad. So that's all I'm saying, man. Is just understand that he's bad, and if you enjoy the character, it's okay to enjoy the character even though he's bad. But
Osmanthus
stop
wine
lying
tastes
to the
same as
people
I
and saying
remember.
he's good.
But where are those who
Stop
share the
uploading these videos showing him doing all this absurd damage, and you know that you have the most min-max of min-max sets, or that you have the best supports in the game, like Bennett and Mona, who can buff his damage. A lot of people don't have those resources, so it's important that they can make an informed decision based on the resources that they got, and not what the resources that the top 1% has.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
That's all. That's all I want.
But where
Is
are
to
those
stop capping
who
so
share
that
the
people
memory?
can stop capping so that people can make informed decisions, man. That's all. That's all I want. That's it. That's all. But that end the video for today. This one was a little bit longer than I expected because I've had to thoroughly talk about why Zhongli is bad and why it's important that we stop capping. But y'all be easy. Take it easy. Deuces.